Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I'm a little bit late today. We've had people here this afternoon visiting, and so I'm going to keep it short and hopefully sweet today. The theme of the readings I'm going to do today is Game of Thrones. We're going to be looking at kings and queens. In this reading, King Henry the Ninth, according to Nostradamus. This is a reading that I wanted to do a while back, a few weeks ago, when the story really was circulating. Nostradamus predictions for 2024. And one of the ones that was a bit hair-raising was that Harry, according to a Nostradamus commentator, Harry would be crowned king. Yes. The prediction went, the King of the Isles will be driven out by force. Soon after, a new king will be anointed who, for a long time, will appease the earth. And this king will be one who will have no mark of a king. In other words, a spare. According to Nostradamus commentator Mario Redding. Not someone I've ever heard of. But he seems to think that this means that Charles will abdicate. He will be forced to abdicate for some reason. I don't know what happens to William in this scheme of things, but the new king that will be crowned will be Harry, King Henry the Ninth. Can you imagine? A lot of people are saying, well, this actually has already happened. Wallace and David, been there, done that. That's a prophecy that has come true. But I'm going to have a little look at this with the tarot of the golden wheel. I want to know if Harry knows about this story that's been circulating, if he knows about it, what he thinks about it. Would he like to be king? Is this something that's on his wish list, his bucket list, shall we say? Because we're all busy drawing up our list of intentions and things we want to achieve in the coming year. Well, I certainly am. I have to say that 2023 has been quite a wild year for me, not necessarily a particularly pleasant year for me or for my community or the people in my life, my loved ones, nearest and dearest. So everyone's been having quite a hard time. So try to manifest better things in the new year, perhaps for Harry. I hope Nostradamus' prophecy comes true and I'm crowned king. Of course, the royal family's on a bit of a high at the moment after their showing at Christmas and that lovely documentary, behind the scenes look at the coronation. I don't know if you watched it. Worth watching if you can find it somewhere to watch. Interesting and heartwarming, I felt. But we're going to have a look and see how the people would respond to King Henry the Ninth. Is this likely to come true? I'm doing this reading because there's been talk in the past few weeks as well about William and Catherine traveling together. People were commenting on it when they arrived together at the Christmas carols, and people saying, you know, isn't it time that they stop doing that? That old concern that rears its head every now and then. That really they should be traveling separately. The late Queen was always concerned about them traveling together. I don't want to be a downer and wish ill on anybody, but we do know that somebody, strength card in reverse, somebody, interesting that somebody's should come up when I'm holding the strength card, somebody did mention allegedly that she and Harry were just one plane crash away from the crown. So strength card in reverse. It would be the royal family in its full aspects because it's reverse. It's the strength card is to do with the royal family. Of course, it is also Harry and Meghan, the Virgo and the Leo, as I always say with the strength card. It's one of the signifiers for Harry and Meghan, the Parkles, and it's in reverse. So it would be, oh no. That's the underlying energy, the damage, harm to the royal family. The royal family very much weakened, very much at risk for themselves, and also because of the notion that the Montecitos might be coming back, the Count of Montecito, the Duke of Montecito. Anyway, that's the underlying energy. The situation we're dealing with is the Two of Cups in reverse, and that would be a disappointment, a separation, a split. And people speculate, I think that this Mario Reading character went on to speculate it would have something to do with Camilla, Queen Camilla, the reason Charles would be forced out. Some scandal around that, I don't know, but Two of Cups in reverse is a couple that for some reason is forced to separate, or there's some unhappiness around the couple, some kind of breakup. So that would be the situation, possibly. So we're looking at this to see what the energy situation is around this. And of course, because I'm in a rush, I've forgotten to tell you that this is of course just tarot, and it's all entertainment, and it's all opinion, and it's all speculation, and it's all just energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. Let's look at Harry and see if Harry has heard about this story, this Nostradamus story. We've got the Tower, and that is calamity. That is a fall of the House of Windsor, basically. I think he's aware with that card that there is this speculation. It's an old Nostradamus quatrain that has been around, and people have tried to interpret it. As I say, a lot of people say it's already been and done with his great uncle. I think that's right, great uncle. Maybe it's a greater than great uncle. But there it is, there's the Tower. That's calamity, that's destruction, a sudden twist, a turn of events, a shock, something terrible happening. And it's certainly from the point of view, I think, of the public and from the House of Windsor, would be that something terrible and shocking would have to happen. Of course, names are about to be named early in the year, so who knows, there could be scandals brewing that we have no idea about. But anyway, I do think with that Tower card that he has read these headlines. They were sort of blazing headlines in the Daily Mail a while back, a few weeks ago. So I'm sure he's aware. I'm sure that he wakes up in the morning and first thing he does is check the Daily Mail to see what terrible things they're saying about him and his wife, or what wonderful things they're saying about them, depending on who's paid the piper. My opinion, of course. Let's have a look and see how eager he is to be king. Would he relish the prospect of being king if the opportunity arose? Four of Cups. That's interesting, because that's a rejection card. That's an apathy and indifference card, and I would have expected much stronger energy of, oh yes, because remember, of course, when he was little and William was complaining and saying, oh, I don't want to be king, Harry was saying, well, I want to be, don't worry, I'll do it, you don't want it, I'll have it. Times have changed, Four of Cups, and times possibly have changed in the sense that maybe he feels that the people would reject him, and that it's not such a tempting offer after all. It might have been tempting even 5 years ago when he married. But now, of course, things are very different. The opinion polls are very negative. People have nothing nice to say about him. People are coming out all over the place and with ghastly tales about him. Dominic West, what's that other guy who's been talking about Harry in the nightclub, and the story gets more and more tawdry. I'm going to have a look at it. I've gone blank, I can't remember his name. I have to go and fetch my notes. But tales coming out about him, wild behaviour in nightclubs, and dumping people who've spilled the beans on his wild drinking and stuff like that. I didn't feel like I was going to read on that today. I just didn't feel like it after having a nice visit with friends. I thought, let's keep it light today. Well, not really light, is it, when you've got the Tower and the Strength card in reverse and the Two of Cups in reverse, but it's we're reading on Nostradamus. So, you know. But the Four of Cups is rejection and apathy and indifference. So I think he might have once eagerly grasped that cup, now perhaps not so keen. And I think the reason not so keen is that he might generally be more apathetic about things in his life, possibly substance abuse leading to some level of apathy, as the one substance in particular does, that he is inclined to use. But also the notion that the public might not be so keen on him. We're going to have a look at that right now. How would the public feel if the rest of the royal family for some reason were not able to act, and it was left to Has-Been and his wife to take to the throne. 9 of Wands in reverse. It would be a terrible thing, a terrible calamity, ruin and devastation. The 9 of Wands is about boundaries and protection and standing against onslaughts that come your way. When it's a 9 of Wands in reverse, it's like, I can't, I give up, I let go. They would say, oh well, that's it then. There's no point carrying on with this business with the royals if that's what's going to be on the throne. And we're going to get a BBC documentary about how Has-Been and the wife were preparing for their coronation. That's it, Republic, here we are, we give up. So he's right. The energy of the 4 of Cups is correct. He would not be well received. It would be the end. 9 of Wands in reverse for the public. Is it likely to happen? The outcome card. Would we ever see King Henry IX on the throne? And it's a no. And I have to say, an enormous relief, not surprising. Ace of Swords in reverse is a no. Quite simple. It's a declaration. Ace of Swords is always a declaration. It's a truth telling. It's an announcement. It's in reverse. Aces in reverse generally, traditionally in tarot, mean no. So I think he is aware with that Tower card there in the place where I've asked that question. This story would be a calamity, a ruin of the Windsors. Of course, with the Strength card in reverse, some terrible damage or harm, weakening of the royal family. With Strength card in reverse, it would have to do with a couple that for some reason was no longer together. 2 of Cups in reverse. Harry knows the Tower. He's not that interested anymore. 4 of Cups. If public would just think, oh well, that's it, we give up, can't be bothered anymore, not going to support this. And fortunately, from my perspective as a tarot reader, my personal opinion, my personal preference coming through here, Ace of Swords in reverse, is it likely to happen that Harry would be crowned king? No. And thank goodness is what I say, and I'm sure that many of you watching feel the same. And so that's that little reading. We'll move on to the wife and see about her becoming queen in the next reading.